Hey, in this video, we're going to be doing a review on the cordless Milwaukee Super HAWG and the corded Milwaukee Super HAWG and our opinions on what we would use them for.
That's right. My name's Clayton.
And I'm Karsten.
And we are the Plumbing Gurus. Thanks for tuning in our channel. On this channel, we're striving to save you money and keep you informed on all the proper plumbing practices that we like to use.
That's right. And if you're new to this channel, maybe consider smashing that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell button so you can get notifications for any future videos that we post. Let's jump into this video.
Let's do this. Welcome back. Karsten's going to start the review with the cordless Milwaukee Super HAWG.
That's right. Thank you, Clayton.
Yeah.
So this is probably one of my favorites. I've had it for quite some time now. It's a cordless Super HAWG. Had that bad boy for a long time, and I always wondered why they never made a quick connect for a drill. So first thing I'd love to talk about is how simple this thing is. Boom, click. Boom, click. Quick and easy. You can get extensions for it. You can get them out to here if you're drilling nice big holes. If you need to like go through a couple different joists, you got a tight joist, and then you got to add and quickly pull in and out for extensions. Probably one of my favorite features about this guy, other than the fact that it's battery powered.
I noticed that you have the handle off, Karsten. Why is that?
Yeah, so I personally, actually you can put the handle on either side, it looks like here.
Right.
I've never used the handle. I actually personally have thrown them all in the garbage. I threw that one in the garbage too. Because this thing is so long and it has the clutch in it, so if you are kind of reaching way up in the air or down low, if it does catch, you can, it's quite easy to hold it. It clicks out, it clutches out, so and then you just kind of pull it out and start again. That's the reason I don't personally use the handles. And another nice thing about these drills is how tight of a space you can get in. The tightest space that I've ever figured that I could get into is about 9.5 inches. If you take this handle off, just got a couple of torque screws on this one, pop the handle off, and then I just hold it on the end like this. Actually, most of the time I very rarely use this. I usually just, if I'm pushing down, but sometimes I just hold the handle right there anyways. And you can get into a super tight space. Another nice thing is you got the high and the low setting. So if you're drilling the bigger holes, you're going to want to put it on a lower setting so that it spins. So
and also your battery life too, a little bit.
Yeah, just more power, adds more torque to it. Yeah. I'd say the biggest, only downfall to this guy is it doesn't spin as fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't spin as fast as that one there. So it works real nice.
It's still pretty fast.
Oh, it works good.
But you can see the comparison. How fast that spins to that, so you're gonna get.
So battery power will definitely never be anything anywhere as good as a cord, but the convenientness of having this guy to just do all the things that it does.
I really like that quick connect on the end.
Yeah,
that's
it's
really
my
slick.
favorite part for sure.
Yeah.
And then if you have the 9-amp battery, like I do here, this guy I've drilled the whole entire upstairs without this battery. Like I've almost drilled a whole house, a new house. Renos, the batteries die quicker because the wood's harder and harder to deal with. I personally like cordless everything. As you can see, I have a couple cordless things back here.
But sometimes you need to jump into the cordless and you need the cordless power, just like this guy here. I'm a big fan of this guy. I actually have this one in the van. I told Karsten I don't want the battery operated one because I like the speed, and I'd rather have something where if it takes me a couple minutes to rig out a cord for this guy, just because you can see, you can see how fast it spins, the rotations per minute. It's just crazy. And it's got a high setting, and it's also got a low setting. Whoa, it's a little stiff because I don't change this very much for the low setting. I find with the corded Super HAWG here that I don't need to set it in the low setting.
I think the only time ever is if you're doing like a 5-inch or a 4, like anything bigger than 4 or 5, and you're drilling through a bunch of like knotted wood. It does it'll clutch out. So like I'll usually just chuck it on the low, but it's got some torque. So
it does, and it also saves your bits too on the low setting if you're going through.
You don't burn them out.
You don't burn the bits out as fast. And this one here's got a built-in chuck as well, and it's the same thing here with the handles. We've just taken them off. That's our own personal preference, but the handle will sit here, and I just kind of find it's more in the way most of the time. So I'll just grab it just from this back handle here, and I'll use it. And again, if you need to get in a real tight space, 9 inches or more, kind of around 9 inches, you could take them out. Just take this handle and and you just grab the HAWG here from the side here. And this guy also oscillates as well, which is actually really neat because sometimes you're stuck in a corner here. So this handle, there's a button here that you can push, and then this will just spin just like that. So now let's say you're standing on a ladder and you're drilling the hole this way, you can have this handle forward while you're pushing this way.
Just
so
a better
show you
for sure.
from the side here. So that's a really neat way of drilling holes as well. It's got a forward and it's got a reverse mode. It's not too heavy, which is another thing that I like about it. And also that built-in clutch might save your life.
Well, yeah, do you remember the original Super HAWG? That thing was intense.
Yeah.
It was just a whole hog. It
was a whole hog, and it's full power. It doesn't matter what it hits.
I watch guys get chucked off ladders with those things.
Yeah, I've got thrown off a ladder off of one of those 6-foot ladder, and I was on the second rung from the top, and it caught onto a knot, and it flicked, and I fell off the ladder, and luckily I didn't die.
That's right.
The whole HAWG ended up landing on the ground beside me like this, and it spun right into the floor, into the wood. So if it landed on my chest.
And they didn't have clutches either.
No,
my first day on the job, I was working with a guy, and he was drilling with the old HAWG style. It wasn't long like this, didn't have the leverage, so you couldn't really hold it. And when it bound up on the wood, his hand got stuck there and he couldn't release the trigger because he was stuck. I had to unplug the cord for him. If I wasn't there that day, he might have lost his finger.
Crazy.
But anyways, so if you guys are looking to maybe even consider purchasing one of these, we're gonna have these in the link in the description below. You can check them out there.
Check it out. So let's jump in and just show these guys into action. What do you think, Carson?
Yeah, we should probably show them how these things drill.
Let's do it. All right, so as you can see, the quartered hole HAWG here goes through a lot faster, and actually that too, a little bit faster, a lot faster, because it spins a lot faster.
And these bits are
really intense. So, so when you're taking the bit out here, you want to make sure that you unplug this unit, just in case that trigger actually accidentally gets pushed in. So we'll go ahead and I'll just take the power right off. So we know that that's unplugged. And sometimes you might get lucky with these here. You can actually just pull, So this one here, you want to be careful too when you do this. It might not be a bad idea to wear gloves because these teeth are really sharp. But you can actually just kind of pull this out just right by hand. You don't even need to use a tool, so which is pretty sweet. So, but so there's the corded hole HAWG, Super HAWG review.
Yeah, and my cordless Super HAWG, as you can see, took quite a bit longer to get through. Not fully necessarily because of the drill itself. If I were to use that same bit, that would still be faster, but because you're drilling a 2x6 or 2x4 with a hole saw, it always takes longer. Like we had said before, it's good for old wood and it's good for nails. If there's a bunch of nails going through, you don't have to worry about trying to like take them out, you just drill right through them. My favorite part about hole saws is actually going through either plywood or TGI joists.
Right.
They just ripped right through. Whereas these, they actually don't work that great for joists and plywood as much.
More for thicker wood,
Yeah, it's really good for kind of just this type of wood.
Yeah.
And then as you can see, I just pop that out with a screwdriver. So generally if I'm drilling holes on a ladder or whatever, I'll have my screwdriver on my ladder, we're drilling all my holes, I pre-mark all my holes, go through, drill them, and then just pop them out as they go. Sometimes, if you saw how I was kind of drilling on an angle, sometimes with the hole saws, you gotta kind of just bind it so that it drills a bit faster and better and pulls it, and then sometimes these come out a little bit easier, but in this case I had to use a screwdriver, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. And as you can see, the trigger is protected here, so you don't necessarily have to, but you can. There's a little button here which clicks it from forward to reverse. If you just push that right in the middle, it locks the trigger, right?
That's right, yeah. So
and then
you do
that
have
way
a trigger lock.
So that way it's safe. You can stick your tool in there and take it out, but it's highly unlikely that trigger will get pushed in, where this one here, you can see it doesn't really have anything to protect it. So if you're against like the floor or something, you accidentally
and if it does bind up or something, there is a clutch, but sometimes it kind of surprises you, and this could help protect your hand for sure.
So and you can check both of these out in the link in the description
like we said,
below.
we'll have a link in the description below. These are awesome tools. We highly recommend if you're drilling lots and lots of holes. We do have the hand drills like the M18s or whatever. We do use them if you're just doing a couple holes, but if you're going to be doing like a whole house or a ton of holes, like 10 or more, highly recommend having a Super HAWG. Very awesome tool. I've been using them for years and years.
100%.
Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.
See you on the next one, guys.